Chapter 1. I'm a liar and a cheat and a coward, but I will never, ever let a friend down. Unless, of course, not letting them down requires honesty, fair play, or bravery. I've always found hitting a man from behind to be the best way to go about things. This can sometimes be accomplished by dint of a simple ruse. Classics such as, "What's that over there?" work surprisingly often, but for truly optimal results, it's best if the person doesn't ever know you were there. "Oh, jeez! What the hell did you do that for?" Alain de Vere turned, clamping his hand to the back of his head and bringing it away bloody. When the person you hit doesn't have the grace to fall over, it's generally best to have a backup plan. I dropped what remained of the vase, turned, and ran. In my mind, he'd folded up with a pleasing oof and left me free to leave the mansion unobserved, stepping over his prone and senseless form on the way. Instead, his senseless form was now chasing me down the hall, bellowing for blood. I crashed back through Lisa's door and slammed it behind me, bracing myself for the impact. "What the hell?" Lisa sat in the bed, silken sheets flowing off her nakedness like water. "Ugh!" Alain hammered into the door, jolting the air from my lungs and scraping my heels over the tiles. The trick is to never rush for the bolt. You'll be fumbling for it and get a faceful of opening door. Brace for the impact. When that's done, slam the bolt home while the other party is picking himself off the floor. Alain proved worryingly fast in getting back on his feet, and I nearly got the door handle for breakfast despite my precautions. "Jal!" Lisa was out of bed now, wearing nothing but the light and shade through the shutters. Stripes suited her. Sweeter than her elder sister, sharper than her younger sister. Even then, I wanted her. Even with her murderous brother held back by just an inch of oak and with my chances for escape evaporating by the moment. I ran to the largest window and tore the shutters open. "Say sorry to your brother for me." I swung a leg over the casement. "Mistaken identity or something." The door started to shudder as Alain pounded the far side. "Alain?" Lisa managed to look both furious with me and terrified at the same time. I didn't stop to reply, but vaulted down into the bushes, which were, thankfully, the fragrant rather than thorny variety. Dropping into a thorn bush can lead to no end of grief. Landing is always important. I do a lot of falling, and it's not how you start that matters so much as how you finish. In this instance, I finished concertinaed, heels to arse, chin to knees, half an azalea bush up my nose, and all the air driven from my lungs, but with no bones broken. I fought my way out and limped towards the garden wall, gasping for breath and hoping the staff were too busy with pre-dawn chores to be poised and ready to hunt me down. I took off, across the formal lawns, through the herb garden, cutting a straight path through all the little diamonds of sage and triangles of thyme and what-not. Somewhere back at the house a hound bayed, and that put the fear in me. I'm a good runner any day of the week. Scared shitless, I'm world-class. 2 years ago, in the border incident with Scorran, I ran from a patrol of Teutons, 5 of them on big old destriers. The men I had charge of stayed put, lacking any orders. I find the important thing in running away is not how fast you run, but simply that you run faster than the next man. Unfortunately, my lads did a piss-poor job of slowing the Scorrans down, and that left poor Jal running for his life with hardly 20 years under his belt and a great long list of things still to do, with the de Vere sisters near the top, and dying on a Scorran lance, not even making the first page. In any event, the borderlands aren't the place to stretch a warhorse's legs, and I kept a gap between us by running through a boulder field at breakneck speed. Without warning, I found myself charging into the back of a pitched battle between a much larger force of Scorran irregulars and the band of Red March skirmishers I'd been scouting on behalf of in the first place. I rocketed into the midst of it all, flailed around with my